You ready?
I've been ready. Well, I was gonna say I was born ready, but I'm not born.
All right.
I'm not born.
Welcome, guys. Do you like the nice set? Yeah, welcome to my place. This is nice.
George has been like bugging me for years. Like, when can we film an episode in my place? I'm like, well, let's do it for Doctor Who, because literally my place right now.
Doctor Who is my show.
Well, it is your show, but also my place is a fucking mess, right? It's a travesty.
Yeah.
I got new stuff in. I got a fucking barbecue grill in the middle.
Did something happen to the walls in your house too?
No.
You said something about the walls.
I don't remember. No, I was like, I got a new. It's a mess. Like, if I put George in there, he probably would have like been like, "Oh, come on, man! There's like a fucking grill over here. I can't move it."
Yeah, like shit. This isn't cinematic. What the fuck? This is bullshit.
What can I do? Like, what can I do? It's like it's literally everything. Like Christmas, a barbecue grill, a new desk. It's like everything's taking up my house. Everything's taking up my house, and bombs away. But hey, everyone, Joe here from ActionX.
It's just George here.
And welcome to your Doctor Who Series 6 review, part of every Doctor Who series reviewed, part 2. We're going to jump into it, because I just literally wrapped Series 6.
Like an hour ago.
About 45, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little
you just finished Series 6.
It was a little time-consuming, not to be insultful, but it was a little bit time-consuming, because you did give me the heads up after we wrapped Series 5, is that, yeah, Series 6, you might want to take a little bit more time to understand everything, as I was like, what the fuck you mean? Like, this is Doctor Who. Nothing about this show makes sense.
Yeah, nothing makes sense in this show.
But after
you've accepted that, I'm glad. He's one of us now, guys.
Yeah, even though I still have, you're up to 13 now in series, right?
Yeah.
We're not even halfway through this entire review series.
Yeah.
Actually, we're not even close to a third done. Because of all the specials we're going to do solely in the future.
Yeah, technically you're right. But, like, just numbers-wise, yeah, we're halfway through.
Yeah, well, by this time next week we'll
6 plus 6 is 12.
But we have 13 too.
Yeah.
So that's not fully next week's whatever. Let's just get through it. George, I'll get to my like really complex early thoughts right now. But like, what's your like, what was your early take on this? Like, what was it worth the binge? Was it like what's Series 6?
Like you're asking for like my
baseline
opinion, like
baseline
non-biased or biased?
No, baseline
personal thoughts.
Personal thoughts, just baseline, no spoilers going in, go.
Series 6 is, like, probably one of the best. It's really, like, it's really where Stephen Moffat really shines in Doctor Who, Series 5 is, simple, and it's the stepping stone. It's nice. It's fun. Whereas Series 6 is where shit gets serious, and, it's only gonna get better from here, really.
Okay, so I want you to, it's a little bit of a roller coaster for my thoughts, okay? So, you're allowed to jump in whenever you want, like, slap me the hell if you want to.
Yeah.
Initially, going through Series 6, I think I was at the first mark, like, after the 7th episode, because they did 7, and then they did 6 in terms of, like, a story structure.
Yeah.
I was a bit confused. And then I kind of like...
A bit confused.
And I was like really like struggling to understand like, wait, what's going on here? Like, I was starting to think this might be one of the bottoms originally. And then I think it was just like the structure of the story and like those final episodes. Like somehow they do it. Like they knock back and they're like, okay, I really like this series.
They wrap it up.
Right? They wrap it up pretty well. Like this felt like a open-ended conclusion that this... Let's just say hypothetically, BBC like, fuck it, we're canceling the show. It's done. We're ending it here. It feels like this isn't like an ending. Like like you kind of understand a lot of like major questions since the revival era started. They kind of answered a couple of those, and they kind of leave things like, okay, if Doctor Who has to go into hibernation for a while again, this seems like the perfect place to like leave it off. And we obviously have like another series with,
and this was back when like. They actually had a schedule.
Oh, God.
Because you get later on into Stephen Moffat's era, and it's like, all right, we might make a series this year. We might make it became like Sherlock, where we're just like, we might continue it. Like, and it's just like, excuse me, what you mean you might continue it? This is the show that will never die. One thing that's guaranteed, though, you'll always get a Christmas special.
Yeah, now New
Yeah.
Year's special.
Yeah, now New Year's.
This is like holiday special because like people like always like, oh, what? Why?
Yeah,
Christmas?
that's what people are usually calling it. I like that it's revolved around Christmas, but like it's not a big deal. It's just fun.
It's just like a way to like ring in the new year. Always like, hey, you'll get a brand new Doctor Who installment every January 1st.
Yeah.
Which I found sweet. I don't think I'll be on board this year. I think it'll be a while before like we can actually share like a Doctor Who day properly. Well, not the Doctor Who day, but like a Doctor Who like New Year's day.
Yeah. Do you see this as a show that you'll be watching live or nah?
You mean when we're like all cut up?
Once you eventually catch up.
I feel like what we might do is like, yeah, we'll just like, we won't label it like a part 6. It'll be like, yeah, we'll just review everything when they're done.
No, I'm not saying like as review. I'm just saying like personally. Do you see this as a show that you'd actually be interested in watching week to week?
You're gonna have to give me like right now. If like let's say hypothetically we were just caught up now, I would definitely would. But
that's what I did for this latest series, and
was it a regret or was it like a kind of like I could have just binged these 6 and then just come back another time?
I mean, like I was really bored on Sundays.
You're...
like I didn't have a lot to do. Because I did my homework, I did my studying and all that crap. Like
nothing else going
on.
So
Sunday nights I was just like, all right, I could just throw on the TV,
watch some Flux.
Damn, I was expecting nothing, and I got nothing.
And you still have 3 more specials next
week. I got 3 more specials to go.
I mean,
no. I don't know if I talked about this before. Sorry if we're not talking about Series 6, guys. Let me just get into this real quick. I don't know how, but the holiday specials are actually pretty good.
The Chibnall run or just in general?
For the Chibnall run, like, when we're talking about the Chibnall run, obviously, like I've said this before, his run sucks. Like, it's just... I don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. But his first episode, his first New Year's special, and the second New Year's special, they work almost like a trilogy. If that makes any sense. Like they're pretty much like it's you know how like anime does OVAs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is like it's its own thing, just have fun watching it. You can watch it at any point in the series.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. And like I'm not gonna lie, those episodes are really fun because
so you're more excited. You're gonna be more excited for Eye of the Dalek. I know the titles. I know.
I'm looking forward to it.
Eye of the Dalek, like Revolution of the Dalek. I can't do it. I'm done. I'll have one more. I have one more Dalek joke planned for the rest of in this round, but yeah, no. Honestly, like I think if you were we text often. We don't text a lot about Doctor Who in terms of our reviews because we wait for this to be our processing, like to actually have this verbal hour and a half long conversation about it. But I do text you like periodically with jokes and like references. So
once in a while you just tell me like
random random
what
thing. Random thing. But no, it's like the first half was like they definitely had like
it's not as strong. I'll tell you that much.
It is.
First episode's great, but it's just like
the rest. It's like
the rest is like because I'll tell you what this much. Like the filler episodes in the first half are like,
we're pandering.
Yeah,
we're like trying to get to like that big the big moment in 7. It's like, oh my god.
Stephen Moffat was clearly like any other showrunner. He was just like, all right, these are the main plot points. Everything else in between, I don't give a fuck about. Have fun, writers that I'm hiring. But it's fine since he hires sub-decent writers, unlike somebody else.
2023.
Can't wait.
Wait till that. But even I was pitching to you like just some stuff they could do for the 60th special. I don't know if you read it or not.
I did. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to because I was setting all this up.
It's fine. We won't talk into it because next week. So so we can go for jump into right now the spoilers because there's a lot to talk about. Like there is enough. Shit.
So did you get a migraine? Like, did you get a headache?
Towards the end, yeah, because it was again we're back to end of the world type ordeals, and the way they do it this time around with our. I'm not gonna say we have a big bad this season. Neither did we last series. We just have the overarching villain, but I wouldn't consider them big bad worthy. This year we're dealing with a conspiracy and a cult and something that's we're only there when we're there. But dude, I'll just say this, and we'll get to this when we get to the first 2-parter. That freaking design if I had watched it as a kid, I'm like, this is probably the most creepiest design I have ever seen. It's like, I think this is like kind of the weird thing about me. I want to touch them and feel their skin and then run away. That's just how I am. Like Game of Thrones.
You're a texture guy. Would you say that much? Like,
yes, Game of Thrones.
You like feeling like faux,
yes.
crocodile leather or alligator leather?
No, it's not like that. Like my example would be like Game of Thrones season 7. This is not very much of a spoiler. It trended on the internet, but when one of the characters got this weird skin thing, and I was just like we had that was like that one scene where like they were beginning to pull it off him, like the old fashioned way, like just peeling it off. Like I want it. I know, like technically in the universe, if I touch it, I'm gonna get it. But I wanted to be the one to remove that skin. I there's just such a satisfaction of feeling just very weird things for me. I don't know. Let's jump into it. Series 6, starting with the first 2 episodes. How the fuck
America. They're in Texas.
This is not Nixon, and also, swear to God, why the fuck did you not tell me Crowley was in this?
That's right. I completely forgot about that.
Also in our Doctor Who every episode review. Go check that out on youtube.com/ActionX.
Yeah. Yo, bro, literally, like, I saw, like, a whole thread about, like, really fucking famous actors that were in Doctor Who at one point. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we pretty much talked about all of them. Like, the guy from Get Out, Amelia Clark.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield.
Freaking Simon Pegg from the...
Yeah, Simon Pegg, but he was already kind of big at that point. He was British guy.
James Cordell.
You know, James Corden.
We'll get to him later on.
Yeah, holy shit.
Also, another big surprise. I wouldn't think, oh my god, like, I missed him.
Yeah, boy.
We'll get to him more, like, when we're wrapping this up.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but this season, like, that was the only thing that stood out to mind was just him. It's like, oh, that's cool. And also him in an American accent was this... It felt natural, but also feel like, I'm not used to you in America. Like, you're when he was Crowley, he was like his... typical, I forget if he was Irish or Scottish. No, he's not Scottish. He was Irish, I believe. I forgot what it was, as that he was. And even on Doom Patrol, he was like that. Similar, he had a little bit of like a drawl, but you still felt like his regular voice in there. This felt like a little different for me, but I love his presence. I really did. He brought so much of like a fun.
He did a great job. He was a great secret agent.
Oh no, he was. But like yeah, but when you texted me, like I think it was like moments before I began Series 6 back in, I think it was a couple days after we wrapped the Series 5 review. You did give me the heads up that this series was gonna give me a little bit more time to process, and then literally 10 minutes in, I'm like, huh. Okay, so now we have a mystery on our hands.
Yeah, that's some beginning, isn't it?
And I was like, well, how do you do a whole show without the Doctor? And 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, there he is. Like, damn fucking timelines.
Yep.
Now, that was always so confused. Like, okay, so, I mean, technically, like, the Doctor can never really be dead. Technically speaking. Like, it's like a reverse flash.
No, you can.
Well, like, yeah, but
you can kill him.
I mean, no, you could kill him.
Yeah.
But, like, there's always going to be
if you kill a Time Lord, like, before they finish the regeneration process, they're dead.
That's what they did here. In the first time. Like,
exactly.
He's, like, regenerating, then it's like, boom.
And it's like bam.
Again.
And it's just like, what the fuck?
But, yeah, so when I was watching that, I was like, Jesus Christ, like, that was, like, okay, now I'm interested. Like, well, how are they going to do this? You have Amy, you have the team back together, you have River mostly along for this ride, not all of it.
Yeah, she was definitely here a lot more in this series. I still think she could have been in it even more, but...
They could have played a little bit more.
I'm going to get to that later on.
Yeah, but so then eventually it's like, well, this... Like, it's always confusing. Like, this Doctor, but 200 years younger, is there too. And he's like, well, I guess we're back together again. Let's go on an adventure.
Yeah, and they don't tell him.
Well, because they like, isn't it like, like you can't spoil your own fan now? It's the reverse. Like,
yeah, because when you tell somebody what's going to happen, then you can't change it. It's like set in stone then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the...
That way, like, if they don't tell him, they can still change the future if necessary.
Yeah, but like, how do you do that? Like, if it was like him knowing, like for example, Amy was going to die, like, he'll do what could be possible to try and like avert it or find like some sort of loophole, try to figure this out. But like, when it's the other shoe, it's like, oh fuck, how do we solve the problem?
Yeah,
because like,
and I like that. It's like
it's interesting. It was interesting,
it's
but
people who care about the Doctor trying to do everything that they can to, help him.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, but then we get into like the I'm just gonna call it the Nixon episodes. The two part, because I'm not gonna
I
lie.
love that two-parter. It's cool, like especially like
The new
when everybody's on the run and everything.
Mm-hmm. And also the beginning of our new villains.
Yeah,
I call them creepy dudes. I know the terminology.
No, remember in Series 5?
Oh.
In Series 5, they said silence will fall.
Oh no, I know their names, but like I know they're called the Silence. They're cult.
Yeah.
The religion.
So you're seeing like the threads
coming
together.
Yeah,
it's like they said silence will fall in Series 5.
The silence is here.
6,
they're here.
They're here.
No, I get that. I called them
I like that. You get to see like
he's planning this out.
Yeah. Yeah, Moffat had all this shit planned out. Like even up when you get to Peter Capaldi, holy crap.
Even more so.
Yeah, fun facts. Matt Smith left early.
What do you mean, like in terms of like just in general?
The show in general, yeah. He was or at least Moffat wanted him to stay a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he was just like, well, there's this movie called Terminator coming out.
Like that's gonna be my next big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did read a couple of interviews. Like he would have loved to stay at least for one more series, but it's always convenient. Like three and you're out. Like a trilogy.
Weird, right?
Like a trilogy. Like I've done 3 of them.
Which is funny because Peter Capaldi, even though he did 3 series, Doctor Who did take a year off.
So it's at least 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like but it's like anything like with a trilogy. Like there was like 2-year difference than a 5-year difference. Like doesn't matter. I still did 3.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Where was I gonna go with that? So those creepy things, like just like the whole concept of that interested me. Like, oh, if you look at them and then like the next moment you just forget they existed.
Yeah,
that was kind of a fascinating because like you could play around with the idea like they've always been there.
Yeah,
kind of like whenever comics try to do no, they've always been there in the background. You just never noticed.
It's like that kind of like Dragon Ball style retcon.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah, you were always an alien. I definitely planned that.
Well, supposedly, yeah, we suppose. I mean, it would have been fun. Like, no, we had a small Easter egg. Or here's the small nub, but it wasn't really that big.
Yeah,
but it was cool. It was a cool concept. The astronaut stuff definitely did like intrigue me for a while because like I know where it's connected to. Like, why is this necessary? Like, how do we tie these both in? And obviously, like, no, I know like now, like they definitely were always meant to tie in like this big revelation about the Doctor that like these new villains show up. It's like it all ties together. So I give Moffat credit that like for my very small brain, that's what he was trying to go for.
Yeah.
I forgot. Wasn't there like a big way they ended the first part? I forgot. Like I know like one of them gets separated.
What do you mean like first part?
Like it was like the first episode, but it was split into 2.
Oh yeah.
Two separate episodes.
The kid.
The kid,
gets away and she regenerates, revealing that she is a Time Lord. Or Time Lady, rather. Yeah. It's pretty nuts, because you're just like, the fuck? You're thrown, like, 5 different plot points.
At the start.
At the same time, and it's really overwhelming. But I think this series handles it well. That being said, I did binge this series at the time. So.
Like, did you, like, just do, like, you're sitting down on the couch, pull it up, it's like, okay, let's go.
Do you want to know, my story behind the series?
Yeah, sure.
So, when I must have been like 13, maybe even. No, I was definitely 13 around that time.
Well, you just turned 23, so I'm like.
Yes. So, here's what happened. I'm 13, and I hear about this show called Doctor Who. I hear about it. I hear that it's been around longer than Star Trek and Star Wars. I was like, I hear about it. I watched like the Fine. What is it? Is it the Fine Bros? The guys who did the React show.
That controversy. Yeah, it was the Fine Bros.
Yeah, they also had a show where they like recap an entire show like as fast as possible, which was pretty funny. So they did that one. So they did one for Doctor Who, and I was like, okay, seems pretty interesting. They even recapped Series 6, but like I was barely paying attention because, yeah, and I was like, all right, you know what? Sure, I'll check out that show. Mm-hmm. But I only had cable back then. I didn't have any streaming services.
I don't even think that was like a big prominent thing. Because
it was becoming a much more prominent thing.
But it wasn't something like you or like a regular average family was. Now exactly. It's like every family needs to have Netflix.
Like my uncle was like a connoisseur of film, if you would say. So he had Netflix. But he was the only one that I knew who had Netflix at the time. But whereas me, I had
Cable.
Time Warner Cable on demand. And so my first episode of Doctor Who was Let's Kill Hitler.
Oh my god, the second
In the smack middle of the series. I just went straight in. I did not understand a single thing, but I binged the second half of Series 6. And then I watched the first few episodes of Series 7, because Series 7 was airing around that time.
That is a very poor...
That is
a very... We haven't even hit that yet.
The worst way you could watch this show.
If
you're gonna watch the show, start from the beginning. Series 1 in the year 2005. You don't need to watch the classic series.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll do a classic run. Probably not.
I've been waiting a long time to tell this story, so that's how I got into Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but also, when did you eventually go to first half of Series 6? When? Or was it like by the time you got Netflix here properly, or?
By the time my uncle... No, you know what it was? I heard so much stuff about the 10th Doctor, and I was like, why is this 10th Doctor so cool? And for some reason, I decided to watch, like, The End of Time randomly.
Oh my god.
And so I borrowed my... I borrowed my uncle's Netflix account, and I just ended up keeping it.
Until this day.
Until this day.
And he never cared.
You never cared.
It's okay.
Because nowadays, like, you're intended to, like, put multiple profiles on a Netflix
Oh, no, yeah,
account,
but back then it's
know?
like, kind of like taboo. It's like, oh my god.
I was like, oh my god, I don't want to, like, use this thing. He pays $7 a month for this shit. Oh my god. Like, I can't just do that. And he was just like, I don't care. I literally don't care.
Ironically, my that's kind of the same thing with our family. So, like, our family has, like, my family has, like, a Netflix plan.
Yeah, the family Netflix plan.
Yeah, but then my sister, because one day I was just like, I think I was just logging into Opera on my computer for the first time. I was just getting all the streaming services on there, just to get for our streaming nights whenever.
You use Opera now?
I switch back and forth.
Okay, damn, yeah.
It just,
how do you like it?
It's good. It's good. It just
right, like it's a really like, it's snap. It's quick.
Oh no, yeah,
but
it just depends on my mood. Mostly I use Google Chrome, but then sometimes I use Opera. But I was logging Netflix on there, and I saw these. There would be 4 boxes. Well, the 5th box for like add a new user, but like my mom, me, my sister, my dad, and then there was a 5th box, and I was like, who the fuck is this Tatiana person? And then, like, I asked my mother, and she's like, I don't know who the fuck a Tatiana is. My dad doesn't...
what you doing?
My dad doesn't know anything, because, like, he's still fucking a novice. He just watches, like, telenovelas on Netflix. And I asked my sister, like, oh, I gave it to my friend. She doesn't have any money, and she was bored, so I just thought she would have it. Like, you don't... Like, if you're...
This is the family plan, young lady. How fucking dare you?
I mean, listen, like, we're on a family plan for Disney Plus.
Yeah. Joseph and I, we split the cost for Disney Plus with a third guy, so we got a nice 3-way going.
Oh my god! I'm not going behind.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, you gotta make an agreement. Nah, your sister deserves some kind of punishment. I don't know. She got a PS4. Take away the PS4.
Nah, she doesn't do systems anymore.
Take away the phone. I don't know. Like,
that's all her whole life right now. That's her whole life. She has nothing else.
There you go.
Anyway.
There you go.
So we forgot to mention that before we go back into Series 6.
Torture builds character. Anyways.
No, you fool. No, but like we completely forgot the sentimental Christmas special before this. We're starring the one and only Dumbledore, Michael Gambit.
Oh yeah.
It's like, how the fuck did you land?
Oh yeah, finishing that story earlier. I watched End of Time, then I watched 11th Hour, and then I watched
Series 5.
I didn't binge Series 5. I watched like the key episodes. Basically, like I watched it in the order where like any of the filler episodes that aren't important, I just cut them out. And yeah, then I caught up altogether.
So Michael Gambit.
Yeah.
Michael Gambit. They're doing their own take on it.
It's funny. I never really cared all that much for these Christmas specials. Like Matt Smith's first 2 Christmas specials, I was like, yeah, they're alright. They're okay. Everybody loves them for some reason. I don't know why.
There was no Series 5 one properly. I mean, technically you could classify this with Series 5 because it was the first, but I considered like Series 6 adjacent.
Yeah,
I liked it. I liked it. It was a nice take on a Christmas Carol. Kind of a little bit creepy. A little bit kind of like the Anakin Skywalker and the Padme thing, where it's like the boy, which was the younger Michael Gambit, met the woman when he was a kid, and then eventually, since she froze in time, she never really aged. Like, she ages a day a year. And then by the time he got older, it's like, oh yeah, you're attractive, you know. I've known you since you were a boy. I guess I can, you know.
Yeah, it was...
I was a little creepy.
Odd, to say the least.
But no one says that about Anakin and Padme that much anymore, so it's like, who cares?
Well, that's because those movies suck.
Well...
Don't get me well. Those movies suck.
Not 100%.
Oh my god.
We're not having this argument. This is not the show for it. But I like the Christmas one. It was very unique. It was very much like we're throwing in like this is just one of the many adventures the Doctor, Amy, and Rory probably had off screen.
Yeah.
This wasn't an end of the world thing. Well, it was the end of a town. Well, not really the end of the town. Like even the guy said, "Well, people die. Who cares? As long as it's staying business." But that was the pure beauty of them doing their own version of A Christmas Carol. Like, you knew, like, eventually he was going to change. He was going to, you know, be nice. And it worked out in the end. And I liked it. It was a nice, like, let's get back into this world.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. But on to Series 6, the rest of it. Honestly, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I remember the first two-parter, ... episode 7.
Yeah.
I cannot remember what the hell happened in
Literally. I mean, the clone episode was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was neat. You know, but I just thought that was cool because you get two doctors and you get that moral quandary.
Yeah, because, like...
Plus, the clone doctor makes a lot of references to old doctors.
Oh, yeah.
He says, "Would you like a jelly baby?" Like the fourth doctor
says.
It's
like those episodes...
He talked like David Tennant saying, "Hello."
Oh, that was really sweet.
Yeah, I was like, all right, cute.
It's like one of those, like, we can play around a little. Let's respect the source material for a bit, and then you know,
like, oh yeah, the show has 50 years of history.
Well, almost.
Totally forgot.
Well, 48 history.
Yeah,
48 years
at the time, yes.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah,
a couple weeks from now, we'll get there.
Yeah, shit, man. I was like I was very, very tempted to ask you to record your reaction to episode 7. A Good Man Goes to War. Then I was like,
nah.
Let him experience this for himself.
Yeah, because they also had
I didn't want to imply that there was a twist. And we're definitely gonna get into spoilers with this season. All right.
We always get into spoilers.
You know, this season it was great. And it's confusing, but watch it more than once. And you'll be chilling.
But they introduced concept like throughout, like especially like the notion like, oh, Amy could be pregnant.
Yeah, they make it like possible to follow. So yeah, definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Then eventually, so once everything gets into there, we get to episode 7. So it's like we leave off episode 6, which I think was a filler. It was a clone episode. So they're playing on the notion like if you touch them hard enough, they become liquid. Mm-hmm. And then when Amy like she's like, "Oh, you're I'm sorry to say, but you've been a clone all along." Yeah. And she liquefies. Then she's with the silence. Yeah. Yeah, and so then it's like Doctor's like, "I will make him my
the
life."
Organization.
By then, yeah, he's gonna make it.
Which is a little corny. You know, you got an evil organization.
I mean, come on, like
series.
Kingdom
Hearts.
Hearts.
Corny.
Oh, come on, Kingdom Hearts has like an Organization 13.
Yeah, like
you can't really be too forgiving on them, but. The thing that so we get to episode 7, it's like, you know, the Doctor's doing this definitely felt like a finale, even though, like, this was the mid-season finale. Like, this felt like the end.
It's one of the best episodes. Like, holy shit. That's another thing with Stephen Moffat. It's just, like, he's really able to make the Doctor seem that cool.
It's like everyone's, like, fearing his name, like, because they were trying to, like, get everyone against, like, we can kill the Doctor. We can take him down. 5 seconds later, hello.
Yeah, and he just turns that shit. Uno reverses that bitch.
That was a badass moment.
That was such a cool moment. Sorry, before that moment, in the beginning of the episode, I love the part where, like, Amy is telling, like, her newborn daughter, like, oh, there's a special man coming to save us. And you're thinking, like, oh, she's talking about the Doctor. Amy won't shut up about the Doctor.
Why don't you fuck him already?
Yeah, and, you know, why don't you fuck him already? And, no, she's talking about Rory. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
I thought it was nice. It was
I was like, that's a twist. That's great.
Yeah, but it makes sense because, like, oh, you would tell your daughter, like, don't worry, if I'm not around, your dad's gonna get you.
Yeah, I was like, that works so well. They make you think that she's talking about the Doctor, and she's not. She's talking about her husband. But love wins at the end of the day, bitches. Like.
But this episode 5 is on all cylinders. Like, you just get a lot. Like,
Yeah,
like
you get a lot.
They could have like honestly they could have like stretched it out. Like we could do this like a proper 2-parter. Like, we can like have the first half being the rescue and the second half with like everything else that happened. Honestly, it works in their benefit because like the middle, like the third portion, like kind of dragged a little bit. But like when you get to that big reveal, like so Doctor saves them. Well, Doctor and Rory save them. They get the baby back. Like we're gesturing like we're a nice loving family now, mom, dad, daughter, weird crazy uncle that can time travel all throughout time. He even gives her like her old like his old crib, which I don't even know how the fuck that survived almost
a lot of the crib. So yeah, people theorize that crib was Susan's. You don't know who Susan is. Susan is the Doctor's granddaughter. From the original classic series of Doctor Who.
Not his. Or was it his original? Like...
It was his granddaughter originally. The Doctor had a whole family, a whole life that he, just kind of ditched. And
to start these new adventures.
Yeah. And yeah, in the classic series, they wrap that up. Like, he leaves Susan and, she, like, moves on with her life and all that shit.
Not knowing, like, oh, my grandpa, like, is this Time Lord, savior.
No, she didn't know.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just that, like, she moved on with her life. She fell in love with a nice human boy and became a nice housewife.
1900s.
Because it's the 60s.
Well, it's the 60s, y'all. Don't worry about it. I don't know why I'm speaking the Texas draw. I really don't know.
Yeah.
If that was ending up the case.
Yeah, so people theorize that it's Susan's crib. People theorize that was the Doctor's original daughter's crib. But then he says it's his, and it's like,
could be more.
Could be.
We don't know.
Or not.
Is it like a tease or something?
That's the thing, like, we don't know.
By this point, like, don't expect it to play on the Chibnall run. Don't expect
that. Like, don't expect... Trust me, don't expect the Chibnall run to
I don't know,
do any of that
man.
stuff.
This man's trying to, like, hey, get me trending too. Like, I'm gonna say this thing, it's gonna be big for Doctor Who, then no one gives a shit.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I can't say anything else. What do you think of that reveal?
So then, eventually we get the big reveal, like, the Doctor's there, like, because, like, everything's, like, weirdly going on, because, like, the baby's gone, like, they never had the baby, it was just another clone, and
that's right.
So it's like, everything was, like, Doom's, like, okay, what the fuck do we do now? Like, they're looking to River, because, like, obviously River, even at this point, she knows how this all ends out, so it's like, tell us, how does this end? You need to tell me the future.
Wait, did we get up to the part where the Doctor has his first kiss?
This was before. A little bit before.
This was a little bit before his first kiss with her?
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit. No. Well, we had that kiss a little bit before.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So then,
that moment. Holy shit, that moment. That was so sad. I was like, the fuck? What the fuck? That's so sad. Why? Why are you doing this? Because it's the Doctor's first kiss with her, and it's her last kiss with him.
Oh, yeah, because, timeline-wise.
Because timelines, it's like...
Well, when you think about it like that, yeah, it's sad. It's
not, fucking sad.
But the thing like that made it better was, like, she doesn't tell him the full... I don't know how, like, it was one of those, like, whisper thing, but, like, even I knew, like, okay, there's something more here. And he just suddenly turns the corner and it's like, okay, everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry. Like, I'm gonna go find your daughter. Don't worry. I'll be back in, like...
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Right, guys? Right?
I'm gonna leave you guys here. You guys are somehow in present time, or River will take you back somehow. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you'll be good. I'm gonna go off on my own. I'll see you guys in about a few months. Don't worry. And then, like, obviously Rory and Amy's like, what the fuck's going on? Like, tell us what's going on, River. And she does this very complex, like, future way. Like, I can't tell you the ignition, but I can lead the hints. And she gives her, like, this hand-sewed, like, embroidered, like, this is my name in a different translation. I think that's what the terminology is. And then it just magically glows from Melody to River.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wait.
Another word for melody is song. And another word for pond
is river. And then you just switch it.
And you just switch them around. It's
because like song river counts out deranged.
It's like, holy shit.
I wasn't expecting that.
You weren't expecting that?
No, I mean...
Yeah, because who would?
Yeah, because like it was so weird because like when she was introduced, like obviously there was no context of an Amy or Rory, so like you never. I just felt like this is just some woman who just fell in love with the Time Lord, had a very different, all sorts of adventures, and then eventually just she got in her own timeline.
I remember telling you because I watched the episode again recently. I remember telling you about that, about who wrote that first episode of River Song. I was like, guess who wrote that episode? And you were just like, oh shit, Stephen Moffat, he's setting this shit up
for his run.
Yeah, that was.
And now we're here during his. Well, I'm here during his run. You're just revisiting the past.
Yeah.
We'll get to someday where we get to both like complain or groan or like enjoy together. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah, but so that was a big revelation. But we don't get to really see their full reaction because like they were like, "You're our daughter, and you're older than us."
Yeah.
It's like,
what do you think of that reveal? Tell me what that reveal, and I'm gonna have to edit real quick.
Edit what?
The video. You guys will not notice the difference, but you tell me what you think first.
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead. So for me, I like the twist. I did. It was like something. I feel like by this point in my life, like I should have. I've seen almost everything in television, so I'm like nothing really ever should surprise me anymore. But like it just came out of nowhere. But it's like this really does make sense. Like, you know, like
they set it up.
When you really think about it, like,
set it up.
Because at the moment it's like, wait, what? It's like when you really think about it, it's like, this connects to this. Cause it's one of those like, you know, those like, I still remember when like the Gravity Falls big reveal happened. It was like kind of like everyone's tying everything, then you finally get that big like revelation. Like then you go back, it's like, oh, this connects to this, and this connects, and obviously it definitely sets up the stage for like, you know, the second half of like, you know, now that we know this origin stuff for River, it definitely gives more of character for her, especially once we go through the second half. Well, mostly speaking, like of her, like what her most of her real history is up to that point, like just in the specific story. So, but I really like the twist. I really did.
Yeah, I love that twist. Which is funny because I knew it beforehand. Because I had to go back and forth like a Time Lord.
Oh god. But no, it was really good, and it definitely helped elevate the second half. As like second half was like we have a stricter
definitely because there's bigger stakes now. You know, it's just like, oh shit, what do we do with this information, knowing that, you know, this person we've only had a few interactions with is our daughter,
and also the Doctor's future wife.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's totally chalant that, like, the other perspective.
Because it makes you think, like, you know, when you're watching, if you go back to the Angels episode with River and Amy, if you go back to the Series 5 finale with Amy, River, and Rory, it's like, she knew.
But she couldn't say anything.
Couldn't say anything. And that's just like, damn. She
get there cool. Like, well, she was becoming a Time Lord. Like, yeah, I know this information. I wish I could tell you this, but you're not there yet.
Yeah,
you'll get to know.
She's like a legit Time Lord.
So then we get to the second half. Like, obviously, like this felt like
my first episode. Let's kill Hitler.
Yeah, let's kill Hitler. Another one. Like we have this big. Like we should be.
Oh, yeah, Doctor's new outfit. What do you think?
I liked it. I really.
Right? It's such a nice ass coat.
This feels like the start of a new show. Like not actually a new season, a new series. That's what it felt like. Because like the last half was like its own thing, Now it's like, you know, it's been a few months. They haven't seen.
Second half was a lot darker.
It was a lot quicker. It was like in pacing, but it's a good pacing. It's
well,
like
that's because you binged it. Like
well, that too, but like you know, it definitely.
Man, this show felt really quick for thumb reading.
Shut it. What was I going with that? Oh no, yeah, even like the way, like the most innovative way to contact the Doctor, you write it, you have the TARDIS detect like there's a crop field in the middle of somewhere with your name on it, like Doctor, and he's just like, okay, you got my attention.
I have a feeling they're trying to get my attention.
Yeah, but then he said, well, this is the picture I got, and there's a line in the middle, Doctor. Wouldn't you have time for that? He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then we get this other woman comes in and she's like, you know, oh, this is the fabled Doctor you keep telling me about. It's like, it's one of their childhood.
It's Amy's childhood friend and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then
which I think is I'm not gonna lie. Looking back,
I
think this plot point was unnecessary because he already had the twist with River.
I think they were trying to tie it in. Like she's always been there. She's always been around. And then like for me, the big thing was the thing like that they included like, oh, here's their flashback, like, you know, conveniently Rory and Amy. I know, like, they're not terribly old, but it's like it's so weird. Like, you see them as teenagers again, and they look almost exactly the same. Like How I Met Your Mother, like they just keep, they don't even bother recasting them, like, unless they're like kids. But like when they're teenagers, like, nah, just put them in wigs, put them in like very baggy clothing to the like. It was fine in the beginning of the show, but then like once you get to like season 8 and 9, and you see like Robin like clearly a 37-year-old woman trying to play a 16-year-old, like, nah, man, nah, this ain't gonna work.
That ain't it, Chief.
This ain't gonna work. And oh god, even Marshall being back in high school for like a half a second was like, there's obviously no way this man who looks like a lawyer is fucking this. No.
Yeah, this plot point was kind of weird, but you finally get the River at her beginning. So that was pretty cool.
It was different. Like she knew like aspect, but like this is just fresh.
Which is funny because now the roles are reversed.
Like
the doctor's the one ahead of her
for a bit.
Yeah.
Because he knows, like, oh, I know who you're going to become, but you're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what do I say? What do I do? And, you know, this is kind of like another, like, when we get to, like, the whole, like, you know, we get to, like, the Hitler's office, and, like, they briefly save Hitler. And it's like...
Yeah, it's just like, shut up, Hitler!
Oh, no, I wasn't even thinking about that line. That was a cool line, too. But,
I love that line.
But the line beforehand, like, you know, it's like, thank you. You saved me. It's like, I swear that was an accident.
I swear that was an accident.
Just imagine, like, you're time traveling through time. You accidentally save Hitler. It's like, fuck. I could have Hitler killed and saved a ton of people, but I didn't.
I know. And it's literally like... Just the gags in this. I love how Hitler is like, he's not like the enemy or anything. He's like mildly annoying in this episode, which is horribly offensive, I'm sure. But like, I thought it was funny.
It was. He was the way like titled "Let's kill Hitler." He's barely in the episode.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it. Let's just kill. Let's
like he's not even like the enemy. He's just like
he's there.
He's just there.
It's kind of like Family Guy, how they did, like, Hitler's always been referenced in that one episode they went to back in Germany. He was just there for like less than a minute just for comedic purposes.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I viewed him in this episode. He's there, it's cool, but, like, you know, obviously, like, you know, he's just throwaway. Because, like, the real thing where the Dr. River had kind of like this Sherlock Moriarty.
They literally had a Sherlock moment. It was great.
Like,
I'm just like...
The doctor got... I knew you were going to do this. So I moved this over here. It was like, I knew you were going to do that. So I have this over here. Like, I knew... It's like so strategically placed, and it's like, they're just drawing out this... But it just...
Which, like, I another thing about that moment, too, is, like, I love it because it shows you that these two people are, like, perfect for each other. Like,
in a weird way, yeah.
Because they just keep out-thinking each other. It's awesome.
It is. No, it really much is, and I love it. I still would love this. Well, we never got a proper reaction of, like, what Rory and, you know, Amy really think of, like, oh, hey, our daughter, who is just still young in our eyes, is going to marry a man who's, like, thousands of years old.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Well, you don't mess with love. You don't mess with that.
Yeah.
You don't. You let it be. And then eventually she does get him with, like, the old age-old poison ivy trick of, like, the kiss of death. And they briefly separate again. Because the doctor's like, I need to find a way, because, like, I'm going to die. You're not going to see me during this.
Mm-hmm.
And we get that, like, automated voicemail thing. Automated message computer AI. I don't know what you're calling. And, like, we get cameos of, like, I remember their names now. I remember their name. We get Rose. We get Martha. We get Donna. I remember now. Fuck you.
There we go.
I remember. It's still, like, that's one of the scenes I love, because, like, we're just playing little nods of, like, our last year's run. Like, he knows, like, okay, we wrapped them up fine, but at the end of the day, like, he wish he could have, and this is going to come back to play in the last couple of episodes. He knows, like, I fucked up their lives. Like, I fucked up their, like, you know, Rose isn't another universe. Yes, she has her doctor, but it's not her universe. It's not what she grew up in.
Her life is drastically different from the doctor, and it brings up her life is drastically different because of the doctor, and it brings up the question of whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Exactly, because we don't know. Like, we don't know. We're not catching up on her anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, she's gonna show up down the line. I really don't know. Don't spoil.
It's funny. Russell T Davies wanted to do a spinoff with her because like this man just like was like, all right, I got like 10 spin-off ideas, let's do it. And the BBC was just like, bro, we are funded by the government. Like
we ain't got that money.
We don't got that money.
You got Torchwood,
which is funny because nowadays like
people do spin-offs.
Yeah. And like look at Disney. Like he said in an interview recently, like that's what really inspired him the most.
But
come back to Doctor Who is just going to, I think it was D23. Is that what it's called? When they did all the announcements for all the Marvel shows and the Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
He was watching it and he felt like he felt like he was missing out.
Now he can have a chance. We'll see where his return goes, but it would be cool. And then they have like partial funding from HBO Max now, so I'm pretty sure that.
It's his company, HBO Max,
BBC,
and BBC.
So that's gonna open up some more potential. Like there's at
least the show's gonna be. At least the show will have a good budget, and the show will probably be good.
Oh no, yeah, Titan's got a boost in the budget. It looks better now. The Doom Patrol looks kind of the same, no offense. But they were always looking good beyond that.
Yeah.
And the CW's kind of like, let's get them right because they're gonna go on HBO. Our show's gonna go on HBO Max eventually, so it's like let's get them like the quality up a little bit.
Oh, and I think Sony owns his.
Yeah, I heard the announcement. Yeah,
Bad Wolf Productions.
So it's like people say, oh, it's gonna increase the VFX on Doctor Who when we come back in his run.
I'm looking forward to his story direction the most because he says it's going to be drastically different from his, original run, which like is good because I don't want the same thing.
You want something new, creative, but it still feels like Doctor Who.
Yes, I want something like still in the style of Russell T Davies, but not like rehashing anything. Of course,
because 2005 is different from 2023.
Exactly.
It's been 18 years. Well, it's going to be 18 years.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's a 2024 competition to have. But no, yeah. Like also, I find it ironic that like there was Torchwood, there was Sarah Jane Adventure, there was Class. Which I'll probably make a joke about it next year. But sadly, no companion spin-off series for Jodie. It's just like, they're just scraping the bottom. Like, let's get Doctor Who.
Because guess what? They don't have money anymore. Guys.
Oh, God. Who's paying their paychecks? I'm kidding. I'm joking.
The government.
I'm joking.
And guess how the British government is doing right now, guys?
Just be happy we're wrapping this up properly, not just like half. Anyway, where was that scene gonna go? But I like that scene a lot because like it just plays with the note. Yeah, Martha being her trajectory of like she was gonna be a doctor now. She's like, I think the last we saw her, she's working with the army or whatever the special forces are. She's engaged to. Fuck! I forgot his name again.
I remember it.
Oh, that guy. The original. Never mind. Mickey. Oh, God. Why did I fucking know that? I just talked about Mickey yesterday on the Walker reviews. How the fuck did I forget about that? Mickey with an I, not Mickey with a Y. Never mind. And Donna being like, Donna was like, well, Donna's life is better. Let's just say that. But it's still like the aspect of like, maybe things.
Yeah, Donna's the only one who got out like relatively chill.
She's married now.
Like, she's just married and she's just happy.
She's gonna have a couple kids down the line. So I forgot. I'm not gonna make the joke. Never mind. But
this episode is more misogynist than I was expecting it to be. I'm sorry, guys.
Exactly, but I like that. I like that. Like, even though
you like being misogynist?
No. That's nostalgic. Like,
all aboard the cancel train.
Oh God! But just seeing that like small moment, like it just opened up like a floodgate of memories. Like they're just still like, acknowledging, like like the past recent years do matter to him. Like though, like
people were worried that Stephen Moffat is just kind of an ignoring. Oh, excuse me. People were worried that Stephen Moffat was really just kind of ignoring Russell T Davies' run, but it's more like he didn't want to
overuse them.
Yeah, it's more like that. He still respects the hell out of it.
You could have brought them back at any point. You could have. It would have been like a couple negotiations, but like you could have. But he didn't. It's like, look, that history matters, but that was for that doctor's like our previous doctor's
his focus was on the doctor and the doctor's character, which we'll talk a lot more about that in series 7 and 8. But yeah, so Let's Kill Hitler was interesting.
It was, and then the ending of like he found that like there's a date for his death. We got the name of the people, but he doesn't really quite play with that notion. Like, you know what? Let me go have some fun before I die. Let's have a little fun.
Yeah,
let's have a little fun. But the next episode, I do remember. Probably, even though I binged it last night, it's blinking on me. This is how my brain is. This is how all my Butcher recaps go on once in the tube. Like, I can watch things like an hour ago. I'm still gonna forget shit. I'm not the best recapper by brain alone. I'm not. So you can help me if I'm missing something important. But that weird like simulation room, like I make the Rick and Morty joke. Like we're in a simulation of them just trying to conquer their worst fear. That kind of felt like the beginning of like a trilogy of episodes for me.
The hotel episode.
The hotel, yeah.
The hotel episode. That's probably my favorite out of Series 6.
I thought it was okay, but like, okay, first of all, the Minotaur design.
I love it.
The Minotaur design looked really cool.
I love it so much.
If I saw that Minotaur, Joy, I'll be honest with you.
Well, the cinematography is really good. And
that
the
too.
acting alone, it's freaking phenomenal.
But it did help push the Doctor at the end, like, kind of realize, okay, I can't push this off anymore. Because, like, when he finally, in order to beat this guy, this freaking giant Minotaur, which I'm sorry, George, if I ever see him, I'm throwing you to him and I'm running the fuck away. Because, like, I can gain all the muscle. I can be the Rock level. I'm still not kicking this guy's ass. I'm gonna die. So you die first. I'll run you because your ass was gonna get you. I'm sorry. Sorry, no offense. But no, that ending where like he had to tell young Amy, like, just forget about me. Don't depend on me. It kind of felt like the way like he just slowly started to realize maybe his inclusion in people's lives isn't what's best anymore.
Yeah.
It is.
Maybe he gets too involved.
That too, yeah. It's like, you know, he's pulling away, like, specifically right now, Amy and Rory, because like, we had that other episode with the weird, like, the glasses one, like, where, like, you know, they're going for, like, 2 doors. Like,
yeah, the girl who waited, like, style.
Yeah, and then Amy was, like, turned out to be 67. It's still pretty good looking.
I wasn't into that episode. I thought it was...
I thought the meaning, like, it all ties together, like you said.
It was interesting. But I was still kind of just like...
I'm being honest with you. Half that episode that I was like in my left eye, the other I was playing Fortnite. But I like that episode because like it played with the notion like he's interfering because like there is an Amy out there that she just waited for him to come back to save him, and obviously timeline wise we got an Amy who never waited, but then the other Amy is like she just died.
Yeah,
that's not fair because technically that was an Amy. Time is always confusing. Time is confusing because like we saved her, but we didn't save her. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then that follow-up episode where he plays like, is it worth it to like get these companions, these partners to kind of like come along with me? Am I really making that much of a benefit to their life? Is that really? Because he's expanding their culture, their world knowledge, world's timeline knowledge. Yeah, but like at the end of the day, he's putting them in moral peril. He's at some points uprooting their entire lives and then placing them back in like, you know, very shambled places, and you know, they're left alone to figure out what the fuck do I do next.
I mean, remember, the 4th Doctor just straight up left Sarah Jane.
Yeah, but we got that resolution.
But he straight up left her.
But not all the companions got that.
Yeah.
Like she draws like, oh, you're doing fine. Great. But he never is there to like see like how are you doing? Like how did you get there?
Mm-hmm.
Like like with Sarah Jane back last year, like we saw them talk and like actually like, have an understanding like okay, we both made mistakes, but like now we have this mutual understanding, you know, that we're good now. We're good.
Yeah. And
you can come on my spin-off show.
Exactly.
But
Matt Smith did show up in 1 episode of the Sarah Jane Adventures.
I saw that clip.
I saw that episode. It was fine.
Yeah, because didn't another companion from the past like show up?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of like it was like also her like, you know, hey, look, I'm sorry for like this and that, like, you know, it was, but it also I remember that clip because I watched it after we watched Series 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can watch that clip out of context as long as you know the character.
I just remembered this is where the mini episodes come in.
I never watched the mini-sodes. I know they existed, but I never did.
Yeah, definitely. Like this is where they start becoming like
more used.
Yeah.
Okay.
They put in some important stuff in there.
So it's like, you have to catch these minisodes to understand fully about the next episode.
Yeah.
But I still understand them, so they're
yeah, fun. I don't think you need to, but it's just like, damn, they're putting some really important information in here, like...
I should find some sort of way to, like, really access them carefully. But
yeah, right? It's like, damn, we're getting into, like, It's not as bad as Kingdom Hearts, but like,
Oh god,
oof.
where it's like Kingdom Hearts, like these remastered.
This mobile game is so important to the story, guys.
Or this remaster collection has a specific new unique cutscene that's gonna make sense for the next game. So pick up the collection right now to play and see this one. Like
it's not like that, but still, I'm just like, I'm watching these mini episodes and I'm like, oh, you didn't want to put that in the show? Okay.
Okay, sure. Let's write it off like that.
Some of them are good.
I haven't watched them, so I'm like, maybe someday. But just the way that episode ends with like the doctor throwing them back into like, this is your real, like, I'm putting you back to your lives. I'm done interfering. Here's a car. Here's a house. I don't know about the daughter, but here you have the basis to start over and just resume a normal life. I will not.
Yeah, he's kind of just like, I can't give you a resolution for your daughter. She's gone forever. But have a car.
Yeah, because like he knows, like if you stay any longer with me, something might happen. You could die, and like
Yeah, that's the thing. They never really bring up the fact that they want their daughter back.
Yeah, because like it's like the same thing with the time.
That's the thing. I always talk about how much I love Doctor Who, but at the end of the day, it ain't perfect, and you're gonna find a lot of holes in it.
I mean, you got a show that's gone on for like 58 years by this point, so you're gonna find a lot of holes.
Personally, I'm willing to look past those holes, because I still get a lot of enjoyment out of it. But I see why a lot of people don't, because at the end of the day, like that's just a plot point that they just never resolved.
Yeah, because I think we get a little bit...
The fact that they wanted their daughter back. They could have had a moment where they, like, finally accept the fact that they can't get their daughter but they never did, because, like,
it's just time... It's just impossible.
Yeah.
But that moment does... We get a little bit of continuity, but, like, it's still, like, they never had that moment where, like... Well, they know that, okay, our daughter's gonna be fine. We're gonna get her back, in a sense. She's gonna grow up fine. Well, not fine, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But she's gonna be fine in the end. But like that was kind of like another glaring thing, and it would have been nice to have another episode to deal with that. But hey, at least we got the return of James Corden.
Yeah.
For another follow-up.
I love that episode. I love it so much.
I love I'd never seen his talk show that much, but like, I just seeing him.
Yeah, I heard he's really annoying in real life.
I would still love to be interviewed by him someday. I probably know the shit out of him.
I don't know.
I probably know the shit out of him too.
Like I heard that he caused traffic one time in LA. For a skit, and the police got really mad at him for it.
Honestly, I would have. I probably would have done the same thing. For the enjoyment of a skit, come on, man.
Anyways, this episode has a baby in it.
Oh yeah,
so that automatically wins my love.
But no, the way that it starts like a simplistic, this is him in his new life. Everything's going great. He's married now. He's got a kid. He's got a big house. He's doing great. Like, what's the worst thing can happen? His wife's gonna go away for a weekend, have a little time away from the kid. It's all gonna be fine. Then he gets a knock on the door. It's like, I'm back. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh shit.
I'm here to ruin your life again.
It's like, damn it. Wasn't the last time? Like, what was the timeline? Like, it couldn't have been a year. This could have not been a year.
Yeah, I want to say it's like for him. A year and a half later.
I can't even believe that because
that's actually that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, because they were friends
2.5 years later.
Let's say that, because they were friends, but you still need time to be in a relationship. Then you need to get proposed. You need to get engaged.
I never even thought of that. Wow.
Yeah.
We're going by TV logic in this episode. It's like
He did confirm this was 2011. They did confirm this.
Yeah.
Since it's like, oh, tomorrow, like your tomorrow is when I'm gonna die. So this is my last day, and I got to spend it with you.
Yeah.
It's like of all the people.
Yeah, of all the people he decides to spend his last day on Earth with.
He made even a reference like, I could have been with Ro, I could have been with Jack, I could have been with any other companion, every other person I've known in my life. But you
were pretty cool, bro. Yeah, let's chill again. We should meet up sometime again. Well, I'm gonna die tomorrow anyway, so you know what? Now's a better time than ever.
No, that will. But it was a fun, a little bit of a comedic relief episode, so to speak.
Yeah. I watched the Wait, two things. One, I watched the behind the scenes for this episode because Doctor Who had another spin-off show, but it was just behind the scenes stuff. Does that make any sense? In this episode, it's going to talk about this episode.
Was it like a full episode length or no?
I think it was like a half hour. Yeah.
Chucky did that for It's Show on Sci-Fi. You would get 15 minutes of hey, here's how we made the episode.
Yeah, no, as in it was a show on BBC Two. You know what I mean?
BBC Two.
Yeah, because there's BBC Two, there's BBC Three, there's BBC Four. Like,
do they only do that now because like, oh, it's just popularity things? It's like we have way too much content. Like, you know, we need to like.
I think so. Yeah,
You could-
I hear like BBC Four is where they put like the real bottom of the barrel shit. Like,
Just imagine like an actor promoting like he's. I'm not gonna do anything. You're like, hey, brand new episode of my show. Check me out on BBC Four. It's like,
yeah, it's
wow.
like, damn, they couldn't bump you up to like 2 at least.
Whatever.
Oof.
Not the show for that, but no. So like, what happened then?
Really cool thing that they did. One, they had multiple actors for Alfie, the baby, which
Aw.
made sense. You know,
Got the crying
babies,
one.
babies get tired.
Babies cry a lot.
Babies cry. And 2, you know the part where the doctor jumps through the glass door and breaks it. Yo, how do you think they did it?
I'm not gonna say green screen because I think that's too expensive to afford by that time period. I want to say and it's not traditional throw away, bust away. So was it just like a motion effect or something?
Close. So you'd think that they would just have like breakaway glass or something, but that would actually be a little too dangerous. It still could cut you.
Yeah.
Breakaway glass. So here's what they do. They wrapped like a coil wire around the frame of the door, and at the exact same moment that Matt Smith, the actor, was like jumping through it, like once he got like this close to the door jumping, they sent an electric shock through that coil, which automatically like and evenly broke all of the glass on that door, thus shattering it while he's jumping, so it made it look like he broke it while jumping through. I was like, holy shit! Movie making is tough.
Well, yeah, you're trying to be for the actors as well. Like, you really can't, like, they're not stunt actors.
Yeah, because you can't just have Matt Smith. Yeah, you can't just have Matt Smith, the star of the show, like, just jump through a breakaway glass door. No, you can't do that. And because of the way they shot it, they couldn't do it like a stunt actor or anything like that. So they, like, did some, like, MacGyver shit. I loved that. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah, because some shows, they won't do that. Like, well, it's either the actor or, like, the show, like, yeah, let's just work around it somehow. Because I still remember last year when me and Sal did the Arrow season 3. I think I mentioned it before last year as well. When they did the Oliver and Ra's al Ghul fight for the first one for the mid-season finale. And clearly you can see the stunt actor. Like, literally, it's not even much of a difference. Like, you see, like, I forgot the actor's name, the actual actor for Raish, and then you start getting into the sword fight, and, like, you pause a certain moment, like, that is clearly the stunt actor.
That is clearly the stunt actor.
But Stephen Amell, like, he's like, no, I want to learn sword training. The other guy, I'm good. But I know I love this episode, and, you know, bringing back the Cybermen, not in, like, a world-ending fashion, it was just, well.
Another side note, the Cybermen, notice they don't have the Cyberdyne logo.
Oh, yeah. I always thought they were just remnants, like, you know.
So, some people theorize that these are the original Cybermen from the original universe.
Oh.
Because remember how, like, in the classic Doctor Who series, like, this universe had its own Cybermen?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they were from, like, the 10th planet, the one that was, like, a lot like Earth, but, you know, they turned
Cybermen.
They turned into Cybermen. But those Cybermen went extinct eventually, and that's why, like, you didn't see the Cybermen in the classic series until series 2, where you get the Cybermen from the other universe
to come here. Over.
But eventually those die too. So the people theorize that the remnants that you see in this episode are from the original Cybermen.
It makes sense because, like, the way they converted kind of seems like very it could have just been like a budget thing or something like that. That's what I was writing it off, but now that you're saying that, because it was a little bit crude, like, okay, we're just gonna put the human in there, because before it was like a more elaborate process, like, we're just gonna take this and that's it, and just put you in a hollow metal body. That was, like, I think that's the newer way. I actually would agree with people's theories about that, because, like, the ways, like, okay, we're gonna put James Corden in the suit, like, we're gonna, like, you still see his chest, you still see, like, his hands, like, it's not.
I think, like, once the suit closes, it then changes you.
Oh, you mean like the rest of the body just turns into metal? Or?
Yeah.
Because I said this in the series 2 or 3 review. Like, I think it was 3, right? That, like, it was just so creepy. The Cybermen.
2. Two.
It was creepy for me because for me, like just seeing like them, like just the idea of like, yeah, they're not there. It's just their brain and heart.
It's literally their brain, their nervous system, and their heart. That's it.
In the metal body. It's like it's, and they always say like the one line's like it's so cold because like there's no like there's nothing heating up your body. It's all cold. It's all supposed to be cold. And just seeing this one wasn't as creepy, but like just seeing like this him like. It would have been obviously I love James Corden, so like it would have been like a fucking like travesty if you saw him turn to a Cyberman, but like it would have been creepy like you just see like Darth Vader wise like just seeing everything just slowly swallow him up.
Yeah.
But thankfully they did it. Like the power of crying saves the day.
Yeah. The power of love.
Also those cyber rats, I want to punch one.
Yeah, that's right. Cybermats. Yeah, they were in the original series as well.
So they brought them back.
Yeah.
I want to punch it. Like, I just want to punch that middle body out.
Yeah.
I just want to. But I love this episode.
Yeah,
I really did.
It was fun.
Yeah, but it also gave the Doctor, like, this felt like a filler episode, but, like, it gave the Doctor a little bit, another lesson. Like, even Corden himself said, I know he has a real name, I just don't know the character's real name. He's like, well, how are you to judge that, like, these people are, like, that you're a burden on their life, these two adventures I had with you, I'm glad you were here because like if you weren't there, I probably wouldn't be dead. I probably wouldn't be my wife. I wouldn't have a kid.
Yeah,
because of you. So like, don't think about it like that. Like I think for personally speaking, this is just one of those life conversations. Like you just when someone goes into someone's life, you don't know how it's gonna wrap up. Like it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing.
Exactly.
You never really know.
Life.
Otherwise,
that's how it goes.
Otherwise, you'll be a recluse, stay in your house all day, never make an impact. And then you won't feel bad about hurting someone, but you also won't be positively influencing someone. You just don't know, and it's like, that's something that the Doctor learned. This I was like, okay, I know what I need to do now.
Yeah, and then we get into the
true finale.
The true finale. The professional ass pulling.
All right, George.
Let me tell you.
Get in position.
Because let me tell you, Stephen Moffat does a great job at planning ahead. But once he finally gets to the end of an arc, he's somehow just not sure how to do it. So this is the first time you see Stephen Moffat's signature pulling something out of his ass. and making a finale.
I will say this: as much as I love the impact of this episode, it was a little bit weird. Like it's one of the typical and they did this for RTD runs too, where it's like, okay, everyone you've seen throughout this series, suddenly we find a reason to bring them back here. We find a reason, and then we just begin with like we're in the future and cars are like on balloons and like I was like, wait, what the fuck's going on? I thought we were like getting back to like this crisis mode where we see the guy. Was it from Series 5, Series 6? Like the guy, like the bald dude.
Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill.
A historical figure, Joseph. He was a real guy.
I never did well at history.
Okay.
Seems like, okay, why is time not moving? It's been 5:02 for the past 25 years of my life. The same day.
Yeah.
I can't jerk off because it's too damn light out. What is going on? Bring in the Soothsayer, and they bring him a bearded doctor, and it's like, wait, what? Why is he here? What's going on here? And he's telling the story of like, oh, this is how we got to this moment. Like,
yeah, basically,
this is where I thought you meant like time gets confused. Like, so there's Doctor who's gonna die. There's Doctor who's still in the past. There's this other Doctor that lived through all this, and then of course there's a fourth Doctor. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So.
I thought Series 5 finale was confusing.
Yeah, this episode basically shows you what happens when a paradox happens.
Yeah, because it was like the Doctor's last day. He's trying to find out who are these people? Like, what is the silent? Why do they want to kill me? Even just getting that Dalek cameo. Where it's like, they're getting... I would have loved to see that. I want to see the Doctor wreck shop on the Dalek. Because so far, like, for me, in this run, like, I haven't seen him, like, actually, like, beat them.
Yeah, that's right. Up to this point, there's no really like
defeat
Dalek episodes.
Yeah, like we get the cameo, but we get cameo like with the new Dalek and then this Dalek getting his ass whooped, and then him eventually finding out like, okay, it's the Silence. They want to kill you not because they want to kill you, because you need to die now. Because in the future, you're gonna do something stupid for them, and you're gonna cause the extinction of just them. So like, okay, we need to preserve our things, so you're gonna die. we'll find a way to beat you somehow. And obviously,
Yeah.
of course, we know how that's going to turn out eventually. With how River gets played along with this whole conspiracy, and then like the freaking that dude, like, wasn't like some weird dude that we seen before, like the blue dude, like
Yeah, he was in series 5.
yeah, I want to say I thought he was from the hotel, but so I think, oh no, that's a different dude.
No.
Never mind. He wasn't blue. Yeah, it was series 5. It was series 5. I remember.
No, and he was also in the mid-season finale, episode 7.
Oh yeah. I think did he make the lines like about like something? He said something profanity. I love that line now. I'm blanking on it.
Yeah,
I don't remember. He was just making fun of like I don't care anymore. Like I'm on top of the world, bitches.
Yeah.
I forgot what the line was. So this was all like leading into like what the Doctor did to go into it, and him going back to like those. I didn't even know they were kind of like micronauts. I didn't know. I thought they were just like. They're just people in an offshore facility operating like this robot.
Yeah, no, they're like legit inside the robot.
I didn't fucking
they're
know.
like dead ass in the robot.
I didn't fucking know. And like Doctor's like, I need to talk to you about something. So it's like it's another Sherlock moment. It's like he has a plan. Like he knows what's going on.
He's like, all right, okay, fuck. When's this episode due? Okay, shit. I gotta finish the script by tomorrow. Shit. All right. Damn.
Get the table.
Okay. Nah, I got this. And yeah. This is what you get.
Yeah, then
That's how the Doctor is acting right now. He's just like, this essay is due at like 12:01 at the midnight, and he's just like, let's do it.
But this is where the insightful moment comes in. We're like, okay, he's getting everything ready. We're going back to the series 5 stars. Like, this is how we're all going to tie in together. And also, I forgot to mention the last episode, River gets reabducted by the Silence. Like, okay, it's time for you to fulfill your purpose.
Yeah, they want her to become their assassin.
Yeah, like the assassin astronaut.
Yeah.
For some weird fucking reason.
And yeah, she basically just puts a wrench in his whole plans. She's just like, I'll fix the timeline.
Like,
I got this.
No,
she ruins the timeline.
But it's the same as before back in the mid-season premiere. It's like, you know, they're both so meant for each other, but it's like, okay, the Doctor had to plan to save the day. It's like,
she had to plan to save the day.
It's like, I ain't gonna kill you, love. Sorry about that. I ain't gonna kill you, love. I'm not gonna kill you. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then you just see time freeze, and it's like,
damn it.
It's like paradox mode, and then like we're back in like the weird futures timeline where the Doctor finishes telling the story, then like there's these guards come in with Amy with the eye patch.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Because like, how does this make sense?
Yeah.
They're heading back over. It's like, everyone's like, oh shit, do we have to do another like, it's opposite Amy or like evil Amy again? Like, we're just gonna have to like get that, like go through to her, just tag along. Like, no, it's the real Amy, if that makes sense. And he's like, yeah, here's your outfit again. Let's go save the world. Let's get you shaved up. And this is like really confusing for me because I really had to like pay attention because like okay, so like I'm pretty sure like the mind wipers, they did so much to them. So like she like drew Rory. Like I had to remember Rory because like he's like a real companion to the point where like they don't even remember they're married. Like they have a thing for each other. But, like we're not even married. We haven't even banged. We don't have a kid on the way. We got nothing. They have a base in the pyramids. Apparently, I don't think the Egyptians designed their pyramids to be used as a secret base, but all right.
It was something, let me tell you. I'm not going to say this episode was good.
But they're pulling.
It was
reaching.
It was narratively satisfying.
Yeah.
But I won't say that it was good.
Yeah, because like you have to jump through so many loops and logic because like they have river.
You really gotta suspend your disbelief.
Oh, they do.
You really gotta.
Oh no, I did. I did very much. But like the thing that I always like when we got to the pyramid scene, like okay, the lady, like the human representative for the Silent, they already caught her. I'm like, how did you catch her? Okay, we can skip that over. Okay, yeah. River's there too, and like literally, I don't understand the entire backdrop for this like alternate timeline. Like, so is this like just a future timeline where like the Doctor just got kidnapped and like?
I think the idea is that when you create a paradox in time,
you create a paradox timeline.
You create like a timeline where nothing makes sense. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, it won't make any sense to our minds. I think that's what they're trying to say with this. But fuck if I know. And I've watched this episode like 5 times before. By the way, yeah, later in my life, I did go back. And I've watched every episode, starting from Matt Smith's run. Yeah, you can't see it in the frame, but over there I got my shelf of DVDs and Blu-rays. I've watched every Matt Smith episode, and I have watched every Peter Capaldi episode as well. So
that's next year. That's next year, bro.
Even after watching all of this,
you're still confused.
It still doesn't make sense, and I don't think it's supposed to. I think at the end of the day, what really makes sense? You want to know what really makes sense?
Ending. The ending, yeah. Because like eventually, so apparently the whole thing,
or it doesn't. I don't fucking know.
So the only way for them to like accept like this is supposed to happen. Let's do it my way. We have to unfreeze time, and the only way for time to be unfrozen is if I touch you.
Yeah.
Somehow. Like, as long as I'm physically touching you, time will resume. And she's like, nope, not going to happen. You're going to die from me. That's going to happen. Please don't do this to me.
I don't like how they made the marriage between River and the Doctor.
I honestly thought they were going to save it. Like, if this was like their wedding, I'm like, oh, I thought they were going to save it down the line for like Peter Capaldi's run or something. That's what was my assumption of what was going to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they did this to save the world.
This is pretty much the apex.
Of them.
Yeah. And it's like,
But thematically, it makes sense.
Thematically, it does make sense. But I don't like that they had to get married. It would have been better, in my opinion, if they wanted to get married.
I think the kiss would have been fine. Like, no marriage context needed, because, I mean, that's not the I think deep down, like, with every, like, it's the same thing with
They could have done their chemistry
differently.
Differently. They could have done their arc differently. Sorry. Yeah, question. Yeah, do you like the chemistry between the Doctor and River?
They do. They have it's not normal, but it's special.
Yeah. Because you know what it is? On the internet, the fight that everybody argues about is Rose versus River.
Oh no, it's River. Like,
really?
Like, no, Rose was like I think
I was not expecting you to say that, because most people choose Rose. And
no,
I'm in the middle like, myself, but I want to choose River.
I think
the way that they do it in this season is just like,
could have done
better.
Look, let me explain this to you with a How I Met Your Mother analogy. Let me explain this to you. And George is doing his random moves just to prove his point. Say it like this: when Ted at the end of the series, like obviously Ted ended up with Tracy.
Yeah.
But the show say like, well, okay, Ted got what he wanted with his family with Tracy. That was his true love. Or his real love. Those terms can be flipped over. But then at the end of the series, like, you see, okay, well, he still ends up with Robin. I think you can have it both ways, where it's like, okay, it's River in a sense, and you do not obviously we know River died, but like
yeah, I was gonna say, like, what's gonna happen to River.
River is Tracy for the Doctor, like in terms of like this continuity of like the modern era. Like, River is Tracy, where it's like they're meant to be together, like they work together, right? But there's the infatuation from Rose that like Rose is the Robin, where it's like the Doctor knows like he can never truly be with her like in 100% matter, but he still like acknowledges like it's one of the rare times he has feelings for like romantic feelings for our companion.
Yeah, because that's the thing. A lot of I feel like in series 2, you get more of a build-up with their relationship, and I feel like that's the one thing that this series is missing. And you don't get a build-up. You don't get them to build chemistry.
Jump in
because, Stephen Moffat's trying to do something creative. You sacrifice creativity. You sacrifice chemistry for creativity. Which...
It works.
It's cool. The way the story goes about it is really cool.
But that's the same thing like How I Met Your Mother did. Like, they never had a streamlined chronological
order. Yeah, but you don't get to see it.
Yeah. But you saw pieces of like just the elements, the dynamic, the thing in there. And again, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in the future. Like,
that being said, like I said, I still do choose River because
any day of the week, like hands down. But like, and also you're right on the whole like wedding thing, because it would have been better if it was the Amy and the Rory that knew about this, because they were just standing there like, okay. You're our daughter, I guess. Well, I guess we'll approve of this, unwilling. Like, it's the sort of thing, like, it's only in Doctor Who that this could happen.
Only in Doctor Who.
Yes, and the kiss was magical. It was great. And
I loved the kiss. I was just like, Finally.
This was their real first kiss.
Yeah.
This was their real, like, the real kiss.
This is the one that matters.
It was, and like time unfreezes, everything kind of gets one. Now we kind of get like the proper continuation of everything, and River's back over on, I guess, their house. Like,
yeah, basically, the Angels episode for River takes place right after this episode.
Oh, so she's about to head off.
Remember, because she's wearing like the camouflage outfit.
So this takes place before, or it's about to happen.
No, sorry. In the, like, remember the scene where River was talking to Amy in her backyard?
Yeah.
That takes place right after the Angels episode.
Like, I just saw you. Like,
she was just like, yeah, I just got back from, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw you.
Yeah, I just saw you, but you didn't know I was your daughter.
Yeah, now you know.
Now you know.
Timeline's so weird.
How's it going, Ma?
the timeline is so fucking weird.
Yeah, the timeline is ruined.
Oh, but I forgot to mention, in the wedding scene, like, the big moments, like, it ties back into her debut episode. Yeah. Where it's like the one thing, like, because when you get married, like, regardless of how this turned out, and in your opinion and also my opinion, the thing is that, like, when you get married to someone, you have to give them something like a vow. Like, here's this crucial thing you're only gonna hear from me. And his version, there was no vows, but like his version was like, I'm gonna tell you my name.
Yeah.
And then it all ties back into when we saw her in like in series 4 for David Tennant.
Exactly.
And it's like David Tennant's like, what? How the fuck? Why would I tell you this now? Going back here, going forward here, it's like, oh, now this all makes sense. Like, yeah. Because he knew, like, yeah.
He told her his name because he loved her.
How the fuck are you crying like that? You can't afford me. But she doesn't, and even Amy's like bickering, like, what did he tell you? What did he tell you? What did he tell you? It's like, I ain't gonna tell you, but I'll tell you something else. Which is, the doctor somehow, miraculously, beyond all feet, still survived because the Micronauts had their own version of the doctor, so they died, but the real doctor lived. Which I'm like, that is a long ass stretch, but I'm like,
it's a fucking stretch to say the least.
Because we get back to the catacombs with the blue head guy, and he's just like, wait, is that you? I have his phone.
What the fuck?
He turned off his phone.
Uh-huh.
You good, buddy? You good, buddy?
When I watched that episode for the first time, I was like, that was fucking cool. He outsmarted death. But when I'm looking back on this episode, I'm just like, wait a second. This doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, okay, if you think about the context, like, the world thinks the doctor's dead. The world
that's what they're trying to get at. Like, he
they
faked
saw
his
the
death,
body. They saw
trick. It's like he tricked the timeline.
I wouldn't even say it like that. I would just say, like, in terms of the public perspective, like, the doctor's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, when we come back to the catacombs and, he drops back out blue head boy, and he's like, are you the doctor? It's like, yeah, it was the doctor. He explains, like, it was this and that. And he
starts like saying prophecies, stuff that's all gonna happen in series 7.
He's like, you still have more adventures to come. There's still more things for you to do. It's not over just quite yet. Even the doctor's like, I want to go, like, kind of become an urban legend again. Like, they'll hear of me again. Because you got to be imagining to the point, like, by this point, like, the doctor's become a well-known figure between series 2 and, like, the master scheme at the end of series 3. Everyone's saying his name in series 4. End of time. Then, now this series is just like, everyone knows about the doctor. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows. Which could be a good thing. Could also be a bad thing. You kind of open yourself up to, like, new threats, new bigger threats. Something you might want to, like, take a step back, kind of like, take it back. So, like, he's still going to be around. He's still going to save the day. But try not to do anything too crazy. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then, like, and honestly, this was the corniest way, and this is exactly why
he literally says Doctor Who. I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's like, it would have been cool, like, one time, like, you get, like, the walking, he's about to go into TARDIS, and he finally says the word Doctor Who. But he repeats it so many times.
Like, chants it, like, Doctor Who! Doctor Who! It's like,
that kind of, like, yeah.
What?
I would have.
Are you a frat boy?
I would have edited that scene a little bit differently. It would have been like more drums,
more subtle.
Yeah, it's like, and
that's definitely one thing that Stephen Moffat does not have, and it's subtlety.
Yeah, it would have been cooler if like they just did the one time dramatic beat. He turns his head, gives a smirk, and then we'll pick him up again next time with the next wrestling special.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. But honestly,
Sadly, I hate to say it. I'm sorry to say this, Joe.
I'm gonna pull your hair.
But this is the last time that you're gonna see the coat from the Doctor. Because in Series 7, he goes back to his Series 5 outfit. I know.
Yeah, it's reminding me of Stupid Mario Brothers again.
No more drip.
I still have more water though, but still, that's incredibly disappointing now when I start that show series either tomorrow or Monday. I don't know.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks. But again, now that we've wrapped it all up, overall baseline finale thoughts. Final thought, not finale thought.
I think it's fine.
I think series
it's pretty like series overall fucking great. The finale itself, it's fun.
It is. There was a lot of more filler than I would have liked, but I said the similar thing about Series 5. But I think just the emotional core with River this series definitely stood out above the rest, regardless of how we think of certain, decisions and how certain things wrapped up. I really enjoyed it. I really did. It helped develop River's character more, helped kind of bring a newfound aspect to the Doctor that I've been going to now for 6 series and a bunch of specials.
Yeah.
It gives another layer to him about his thinking process.
Well, yeah, I liked it because it really steps up.
Mm-hmm.
It was really Stephen Moffat stepping up his game. He's like, all right, this is my show now, and I'm gonna do some complicated stuff, and it's gonna be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was. Series 6 was great.
It was.
In my opinion.
I did.
Not a good place to start, to say the least. But when you're binging it,
you got no choice.
It's good.
It's okay, George. It's okay. Maybe another George did the proper way. Maybe. Who knows? Timey wimey, that sort of thing. But I think Series 6 is so far the strongest of the Moffat series, and I can't wait to see where Series 7 goes from here.
Series 7 is really where I became a fan.
You say that every fucking time.
No.
Like Series 4, Series 5, Series 6.
No.
Oh my god! If we keep this going for Part 3 next year, I'm gonna slap you.
Seriously. That's what it is. It's just like the show kept going up, Chris Chibnall.
2023, man. 2023. It's only a couple years away.
That's why I wasn't that mad when Chris Chibnall took over and the show sucked. I was like, I was gonna suck eventually. You can't just keep going up. You have to go down eventually. That's what Series 5 did. Series 5 went down, but it was still good. Once Chris Chibnall took over with Series 12, it was not good. But
well, we'll see. Well, for me, I'll see. You've already known. Well, but I'll hear your thoughts in a couple of years. It's time, George. Time to rank the series. I had to check back again because I didn't know.
What's the ranking?
We have currently number 1, Series 4. Number 2, Series 2. Number 3, Series 5. Number 4, Series 3. And number 5, Series 1. Where do we put Series 6 on it, George? Poppin' 3-0. It's just George. Here, not there, but here.
Number 1.
No.
Number 2. I can negotiate. Number 2. It was really good.
That's the thing. I had this internal argument with the Doom Patrol season where it's like there's certain aspects, like season 3 is the best right now, but not because of the aspects that made the first 2 seasons the strongest. They kind of lessened that, but the other aspects kind of came in and made it better. And that's why it rose to the top. But you can say that for any show that's gone on for this long. For me, for sure this was better than Series 5. I think Series 5 was more about, for me, the transition of Tennant to Smith and going back to kind of low scale things and kind of
it's better than Series 3.
I mean, Series 3 is so low on the list.
You know what I mean? It's
it is, and yeah, but Series 5 is already above Series 3. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Series 2 is very tragic. That's the thing. So it's like the tragic story and the
filler episodes were really good.
Yeah, too. And then Series 6 definitely lacked on that, but it's just the connection between the Doctor and River, just playing with the Doctor's level For sure, for me, I still prefer Series 4 as number 1. I'm thinking about it right now, and the more I think about it, really...
We'll throw up a graph of the...
No, like they're already seeing the graphic right now of it, but I'm just thinking like where does Series 6... I'm still debating, is it better than 2? Series 2, I mean. Is it better? And the more I think about it, I think I'm going to give it to Series 6. Just barely. I think there's just a couple more things I did like about it that edges out Series 2, but I still think Series 2 had the better like trajectory with the love story, with the story between the Doctor and Ro, where like you said before, the Doctor and the River, as much as for me they stood out the strongest, the way they handled it is like being over the course of the story, it went all over the place, which hurts it in that aspect, but there was other aspects with the characters that kind of drove it above Series 2. So I'm gonna give this more along the lines to Series 6 being the conclusion of it. And George has to go do something right now, but I'm going to give it to that. So I think, for me, at the end of the day, and also again, this is also our opinionated list that me and George have created over the course of the past year and a half. So we will see where things lie next week. And then also, of course, as many of you know, when we do get to the specials, they will be ranked individually on a separate list because they are not classified as series. So right now, and I feel like George can agree with me,
So you're gonna put this right under or right above Series 2?
I'm gonna say over, just by a very
just barely though,
barely over. Yeah. And I think that's gonna be the complex things as we produce forward.
It's gonna get a lot tougher to rank
because
these,
next week,
that's the thing. I'm gonna spoil it right now. Series 7, that's my favorite series.
So we're gonna have so until I see it, like we might have a case by this time next time.
Oh yeah, definitely. We could do like a video at the end where it's just like, every series ranked and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's what we've been doing at the tail end of these. So right now our current rankings are number 1 Series 4, number 2 Series 6, number 3 Series 2, number 4 Series 5, number 5 Series 3, and number 6 Series 1. We'll see where Series 7 lands on board next time around. Of course, obviously, we're not ranking the specials in here. Either that'll be a separate thing, or we just won't bother to rank them. They're kind of like unique and standalone-ish. It's weird, like when you do a special or a movie, it's different. It's you can't really market it that because like
that's the thing. Like I'm just gonna go with the HBO Max stuff. Like the specials in Series 4, that's just part of Series 4. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
We're reviewing them separately because they have so much material in them that they deserve their own separate reviews, but they're still like in the seasons.
Yeah, we talked about the Capaldi run. That's going to be a very unique challenge when we get to that next year. So it's going to be. I think
Not really, no.
I think I know how I want to do them, like video wise, but
I think the end of Matt Smith's run.
Matt Smith sounds easy. Matt Smith sounds easy. Like we're doing day and separately, each of them in their own parts. I mean, like Capaldi's run might be a little. Well, I'll talk to you more about that next year. We'll get to that next year. Anyway, let me know. Let us know in the comments below. What did you think of Series 6 of Doctor Who? All available on HBO Max right now. You can go check it out there. George, pimp out your stuff while I drink the last of my water.
Typical Campus is unfortunately on another break, but regardless, it is still a great series, and you should still check it out. And on Twitter at @It'sJustGeorge98. On Instagram at @It'sJustGeorge98. All that kind of stuff. You know the deal.
Okay, cool.
Joseph, yourself?
You can find me on Twitter at Joseph_Prado because the person who took Joseph Prado sucks ass. You can follow us on of course, obviously, in our Twitter handles and our Instagram handles for @ActionX. Go check us out there. Obviously, subscribe for more Doctor Who content. We will be back next time with our Series 7 review. And
ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great time. This was a fun episode. I really like this one.
It was. It was nice to be on George's set. I don't think we'll come back here. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We still have 3 more reviews to record.
Until next time, guys.
In this ball. But again, Doctor Who coming soon. Enjoy the holidays as always. I'm in my festive Christmas hat. And until then, we'll see you guys in Series 7 review. Otherwise, if you're in the future, click over there right now. But until then, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, Merry Christmas.
Goodbye.
Or peace out. I don't know.